Okay, last we left off, you guys experienced your first encounter on the open sea, in which there seemed to be some sort of friend or foe. You guys determined they were foe after you didn't want to give them your stuff, because they wanted to get a bit of booty from you, and they were going to offer it to what turns out to be a Kraken who was looking for gold, treasure, things like that. After you guys turned them away with sword, blade, spells, things of that nature, um, you didn't quite kill the Kraken. The Kraken still was willing to fight toward the end of that encounter, but something spooked it. There were two things that really happened during that. One, Galileo kept casting spells, and with that, there was a moment in which there was a rip in the air around you, and an eyeball peered through. And that was right before the Kraken bit down, if I recall, on the ship in which Galileo perfectly dodged. The eye disappeared within that. A few moments later, the Kraken quickly fled. And all around the sea, you saw these yellow eyes, which I will clarify were different than the eye that you saw in that rift. But a bunch of yellow eyes apparated from the sea, and they are all currently looking up at you right now. In fact, your ship is now being lifted off of the water, and almost like if you could shrink yourself down and imagine yourself in a ball pit, but everything in there are just yellow eyes, and above you the eyes start to kind of force themselves like in the open sky, and they push themselves down onto you, and it almost feels like you're trapped in what looks like thousands of yellow eyes all around you. And again, the ship is lifted off of, and you see no water, you see no sky, you see no horizon, just yellow eyes surrounding you. Galileo.
The eye that I saw that peeped on me using magic doesn't look like these eyes.
No, one of you recognizes this eye very well. But the one that why don't you give me a religion check, Galileo, for that particular eye?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
4?
It was 5 plus 21.
5 plus, and you get to a 21?
16.
Insane.
A good roll.
So here's the strange thing. The eye you've never seen. But have you ever looked at someone and you feel some sort of way, like the emotion of it? You think of a memory in the past, even though the eye doesn't necessarily mean anything to you.
I remember memories all the time.
Yeah, but this is from the emotion that you get from looking in this eye is almost like a kinship, but you've never seen that eye before. You just get a sense of family.
Okay. That's cool. I say, like, what's the Lilo and Stitch thing that's going to get us taken down? Yeah. Oh, I said Ohana.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, well, I don't know. I just glimpsed it, I guess. Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
So again, you guys imagine yourself in a ball pit. The ship is lifted off of the water. There is no water. You're currently just surrounded by a bunch of yellow eyes from none other than, as Runeberg would know, Ukatoa. What would you guys like to do?
Captain.
I think I was Captain. Him best.
You do just hear Gizzo, by the way, under the ship just hammering down. Oh wait, no, you switched ships. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. So, a brand new ship. Go ahead.
I'm gonna roll for stupidity real quick. Is low more stupid or less stupid?
I think you're supposed to pick that before you roll.
Yeah.
If you said you rolled for stupidity, I would assume
Why don't you just
stupidity's like a high roll, and then knowing it would be like we were rolling for.
Roll again. 0 through 1 is, and then the new roll determines what your roll means.
0 through 1 is stupid, and anything above
And then 10 to 19.
I can already do something stupid. So 0 through 1. Well, 17 is not stupid.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna pee off the side of the boat into one of the eyes. That's what I was gonna do.
You
That would be stupid, so I'm not doing that.
Be all right.
Okay.
You might have lost your genitalia had you done that.
I'm informing the group that this is Ukutella if they don't remember that. You guys weren't there. Never mind. From the story that I told you.
There you go.
Yeah.
From your
And you saw the
dreams.
sword. Remember the sword? Yep. That's this guy. So he's not happy with me. I'll start with an ahoy
To all of the eyes.
to all of the eyes. Yeah.
So there are thousands of eyes, all looking in different directions. But again, almost like in a fishbowl where they are surrounding you. And they're all looking in different directions until you said that, and then they all peer onto you. And you feel that heat.
The Eye of Cthulhu.
Like anxiety heat or actual heat.
Anxiety.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Just
Like
dread.
that, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it didn't work out between us. I hope that we can stay friends.
Give me a perception. Give me a perception
You go
check here
full
real
soap
quick.
opera.
What's up?
Perception check.
Yeah, great. I love that idea.
You're just looking across the ship, and Sylvie's just kind of like, let him down gently.
That is not going to be good. I'll tell you that right now. 9.
9.
That's that looks like it rolled out. It was a 2 plus 7.
Why don't all of you give me a perception check here?
That's not good either.
It was almost 18, but it,
That's a 7. I'll just sit over here. No, we're
23.
11.
No, you.
23.
You-
11 I heard.
Hang on.
Did it die?
No, it just D&D Beyond needed an update. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure it's +4. A dirty, nasty 20.
Ooh. A
30
naughty
nasty
20. Okay, but hang on.
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
What you got in there? Anything good?
So, 20 and above. You look. My 20 and above was Phoebe and Raj. 20 and above was Phoebe and Raj.
I think so.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck,
There
it's
any
still
more
not on.
buds?
There it is. Yeah, Rock out 23. Sorry.
Can I have the last one? Was there another? Can I have the last one? Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I don't think. Can I have the last one?
So, 20 and above. You look a little bit closer at some of the eyes. And again, there's eyes pushing physically up against the ship, like looking up at you all. You look a little bit closer, and the black slit that is in the eye does not look... It doesn't look natural. It looks like there's a creature within the eye that is forming this blackened slit down the middle. And you guys with the 20 and above, you notice you see almost like a struggle. Like arms are trying to break out from this black slit within the eye itself. Like struggling to get out.
Oh, I don't like that.
All the eyes?
Well, as those 20s look around, maybe even point that out to you all, you look a little bit closer to all of them. And there seems to be a struggle going on within every eye that you can visibly see.
I think. Wait, Brad, you got it?
I just got a question. Does it look like they're actually is it kind of just like a silhouette of a person, or can you see any detail?
You waiting long enough, you can certainly see detail. You can see an arm break out, and then almost like these where the slit is, these blackened particles go and pull it back in to the slit. It's trying to break free, something in there's trying to break free, and Ukuto is holding them within.
Okay.
It's at this point in time I'd like to take a potion. of healing.
potentially.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Is this reminiscent of the struggle within us all?
You know, now that you mention it, let's pause, guys. Let's have a conversation about the struggle within all of us. And therapy sessions
I would
over.
like.
I was gonna just talk to it real quick, maybe.
Go for it. Yep. Yep.
No. Would Phoebe be able to like tell the difference between like? Well, no, let's just RP it out. Like, I think that Phoebe would first of all like shake back into Phoebe from the Moorbounder shape, and like lock onto one of the eyes and like ask, "Are you in pain, my friend? Do you need help?"
Just that one eye locks in on you, and the others are still focused on Runeberg. We'll say at the front of the ship. You hear what sounds like something that's drowning and is trying to fight to get a breath. So again, no words, just struggle.
Before she does that, seeing her kind of like reach out, Sylvie's just going to kind of reach out and touch Phoebe and cast protection from evil and good. It basically creatures have disadvantage on attacks against her, and she can't be charmed or frightened.
Perfect. So Phoebe's just going to reach towards the eyeball and not hit it. Just like whoop. Just like reach one finger out to like touch the eyeball and see if it reacts at all.
Okay. As you touch it, you almost see this recoil within the slit of the eye, and for a brief moment, a couple of arms pop off and a leg gets free. And then you start to slowly see it being pulled back in.
Yep. Yeah.
Grab.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I think Phoebe, because like she keeps her nails pretty sharp anyway, and like with the weird fae everything, she's just going to claw into the eyeball.
Grip and rip it.
I'm gonna grip it. I'm gonna grip the eyeball, or reach into it. If the grip goes in, then we're going in.
Okay.
Not I'm going in. I would like to not go into the eyeball.
Well, so give me an attack roll here.
That's another dirty, nasty little 20.
Okay.
What?
Your hand, if you could imagine your hand touching an eyeball bigger than your hand, you reach in and you begin to push through with your claws, and you can feel goo start to squirt out, and you feel heat, almost like you're burning your hand, like acidic. Do you want to continue to push further?
Just a little bit. Like, let's send it just a little bit farther. I just realized I am very low on health. Someone back me up.
So that is 1 point of acidic damage right now. As you push further, you can see within that black slit an arm reaching out to you. As you extend your hand further and further, you grip what appears to be, or what feels like, some humanoid hand. That's 6 points of acidic damage. Do you want to continue to stay in and try to pull this creature out?
I can do it.
As she's doing this, like if Phoebe is making like painful looking
I think
marks
that like
or like facial gestures,
her nose starts bleeding a little bit.
Sylvie's just gonna grab onto her shoulders and do 10 points of healing from lay on hands, and is just gonna heal her sister, and she's just gonna kind of say like, "No, you can do this. It's okay. You can keep doing this. We have to fight." And just like,
and I'm gonna keep reaching.
Okay.
I've been bolstered.
Phoebe, we believe in you.
So I need you to give me a, this is going to be a grapple check here. You're trying to overcome,
A god.
God?
not for this.
God's magic.
We'll see.
Okay, let me
God's
check
plan.
out my shit real quick.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on you.
What does that do?
Gives you advantage.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you. And then I gotta look
is
at
that a spell?
my.
Ew.
What level spell?
It's
Second, I think.
Second level.
Okay.
I need you to roll a d100 over there for me. We'll
I have a question.
go for it.
Does these coins of non-detection do anything for us anymore?
Don't yet. Do you want?
If you're still attuned to it,
Oh, you have advantage. Okay, I've got that too.
Okay.
then yes.
Good enough for whatever you're trying to do. Like with a modifier.
I was just wondering if I should get rid of it or not.
So with advantage.
Years.
Okay. Okay. Not bad. So that would be. Would you believe for the third time tonight? A dirty, nasty little 20.
Is that the third one in a row?
That's the
It is.
third natural
Yeah.
20 in a row. It's been adding up perfect.
So
It will for very much longer.
as you grab the hand and begin to pull it out, it pulls you in. Shoulders, chest, head, inside of the eyeball. And your waist is still outside. Yeah. As you pull closer, all you see is the skeletal remains of a creature that is trying to escape out of this. And again, you can hear what sounds like it drowned, but it's just reliving that moment right before it drowned where it was gasping for air one last time, and it's just replaying over and over and over within this sphere. And even though it's a skeleton, you almost sense empathy for it. Like it didn't deserve to die the way that it died. It doesn't look like it's trying to attack you, but it looks like it is stuck in whatever hell this is.
Perfect. So I'm gonna try to start backing out.
I was gonna say, I just want to be clear. The second head and shoulders went in, Terrainberg was raised behind her and wrapped his rock arms around her.
And just what I'm gonna do is, I'm assuming I'm going to try to pull myself back out, but instead of grabbing for the arms, I'm gonna grab for the skull and try to separate the head from the body and see if I can't end its suffering. Just to like, maybe this will do something to like finish it so there is an inert skeleton as opposed to a full skeleton, and just kind of finish it real quick and jerk the head off with me.
Okay.
Same thing.
I'm going to leave that dirty 20 that you previously had. Release your hand from the skeleton and then pull its head off as you back off. The head goes past you, rolls off the back of you as you pull out of this orb. And you almost hear a final breath that it never had outside. Raj, you feel this tingle in the back of your neck. Okay. By the way, that black slit disappears, and you see the orb shrink, and then another one almost in its place pops up, and another orb. And again, there are thousands and thousands of these. At this point, Roomberg, you hear in your head nothing for the moment. What are you guys doing?
Raj would like to go over to the skull and cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. First, what was your D100 roll?
44.
Okay. And what level is Speak with Dead?
I don't know because I have it as a part of the necklace you gave me, the Raven necklace, the head of the Raven necklace.
Yeah, I gotcha. That is going to be level 3.
I think it's level blessing. Okay.
Level 3? What?
Level 3. D100 plus.
Level 3, got it.
We're all gonna die by magic.
That's 52.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's the magic number.
Sick. I like that smile.
Okay, so Speak with Dead.
About to speak to us.
Okay. What question do you ask it? You have 5 questions.
Right. My child, what happened to you?
Almost as if the skull was literally speaking to you. Its eyes, obviously, just skull, just looking at Ukatoa in the distance, and you hear, still in the sound, almost like it's gargling water, drowned.
How long have you been inside of the eye? Or captured?
1 year.
Where were you slain?
Off Port Damali.
Do you know the location of Ukatoa?
Wherever there is water.
Is there any comfort I can give to you for this last request?
Bring me to shore.
And he say, Raj will say, "You got it," and then kind of like tuck it into his little bag of holding.
Wonderful. Okay, so with that, a few more moments pass by. Rumberg, at this point, one of the eyes bursts open and begins to walk along the other eyes, and you see this humanoid that seems to have some sort of blade on him. It's a blade that you recall you've used before. You might even still own one of these blades.
You still have it.
I think we snapped it at the.
Yeah, you slammed the rock.
It can't be that one unless.
Dragging it, and as he's walking across the eyes, the blade is opening up more eyes and is pretty close to your boat, but is still staying off the side. Points the blade at you and says, "The one who betrayed my master. Where is your god?" Looks up at the sky.
Do this way. Pointing at myself, like, wait, what? You talking to me?
Where is he now?
Do I roll a religion check to find out if I know where he is, or do I just assume he's nowhere to be found?
You can do whichever one you would like.
10, very mediocre. We continue with the mid rolls that I had last week. Very mid rolls.
You haven't seen your god in probably close to a year since the Great Calamity kicked off, and he was a part of several major battles. But yeah, he's supposed to be somewhere within the Shattered Teeth in his physical form or his mortal form.
Oh, then my answer is we're headed to see him now. If you'd like to join us, we're on our way there. Or did we just leave the Shattered Teeth? No, we're headed to the. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're headed to see him now. If you'd like to join us, we're headed that way.
Continues to, well, on this case, as he slit open a few of the orbs, he places his blade almost like King Arthur, just placing it into one of the orbs, and he kind of leans on it and looks at you and says, "Do you think he'll find you in the bottom of the ocean? Would he go to such great depths?"
Was that a pun? Are you a pun guy?
Pierces this orb. It's relatively big.
Is anything coming out? Is anything coming out of these orbs as he slits them, or is it just sort of like slitting and oozing?
Just ooze for now, almost like it's just surface level.
Great. Just checking.
This one he is definitely just punctured.
That looks like that would hurt. I don't know.
Jordan?
Jordan, anything?
While this is happening, Sylvie's just gonna kind of like slink away and like push Phoebe behind her, kind of like down the stairs, because assuming this guy is like not paying attention, and I'm hoping that like, I know that sunlight's not really a thing in this world anymore, but I'm hoping my mirage leathers will kind of like make it difficult for him to like really like keep track of me. And I'm just trying to head downstairs as sneakily and stealthily as possible while this dude is focused on Roomber.
I would like a long table mute for a second if everybody could get in there.
Give me a stealth check while you do a long table mute. Long table. Welcome back.
It's a 31 stealth check for Sylvie.
So as you go down there, it's actually interesting. You see Gizzo in his wolf form, and he is currently like cannonball on his back, and he is slowly placing it in the side of one of the cannons. And you see him go. He goes, shh, and he points at the other two, and they're already loaded, and he's loading the third one right now.
We're going to help him, so we're just like.
Okay.
As soon as the first volley is fired, I'm going to go ahead and set up my action. I'm going to hold my action to reload one of the cannons to refire a cannon.
Same.
So like we're just.
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, he's got a pipe in right now, and he's got his matches over on the table, and he points to the matchbook for you guys. And you just hear a slight whisper, "Can you give me a light?" As we pan back up to the top and you guys begin to load that last cannon, is there anything else that you guys discussed over there that you want to get off your chest?
I just wanted to know sort of what Jordan's plan was, and then she kind of gave me a look, so I wanted to know what that look meant. That's all. So I'm just gonna be like, I feel like, as ex-brothers, half-brothers, step-brothers, Eskimo brothers.
I was thinking
What's your name?
it's about this time, boom, 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 3 shots go off, and almost like a bounce house, he just goes straight up into the air. But what leaves behind is the puncturing of this. You see the blade is still placed inside of this this orb. And as he shoots off, and you kind of track him for a second, you lose him.
Is this like we hit him with a cannonball and he shoots off, or he heard it coming and bounced into the air?
You hit the orb, popped him off. But as the orb breaks from the cannonball shot, you begin to see a creature larger than life beginning to, and it's got a sword at the top of its head, begin to try to crawl out. You see a large arm, that, by the way, this arm is probably larger than the ship itself, begins to pull out and tries to pull itself up out of the eyes. And then another arm, again, 40, 50 feet, pull itself up, and what you haven't seen yet is the head. All you can see is the blade that is in its head. Anything you guys would like to do as you hear Gizzo down low yelling, "Reloading."
Reloading the second volley, and just to, I guess, kind of like give you a peek of what the plan was not supposed to be. What we're trying to do is blow a hole through the tentacles so that we can kind of like shoot out back onto the water.
Certainly.
Correct.
Like we're trying to make a hole big enough to get through.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're reloading down below, and we're gonna aim for the same places we've already damaged and trying to blast a hole through something. So we're just gonna like keep reloading.
After about 30 seconds or so of loading these heavy cannonballs, a second volley goes off. And as you guys peep through, all you see is leather skin. And it just encompasses the entire side of the boat that you guys are shooting into. The yellow orbs are no longer there, as you guys have popped them and helped free this creature from whatever its trap was, or whatever was holding it back.
You're welcome.
Friend?
Friend?
Lightning strike the sword.
Yes. Yes.
Send.
Would anyone like to lightning strike the orb? Or the sword?
Any sign that we're getting out of here anytime soon? Or
you can't see the water. And even when you look down, you can't see the water.
okay.
That's okay.
Can I with this like insight check to see if this is like an illusion
Sure. Give me an
or
insight
if this
check.
is real.
Give me an insight check.
Ooh,
Oh
okay.
shit! 27.
27. Okay.
Nat 20 plus 7.
Oh, nat 20.
Yeah, plus
Always,
7.
always lead with that. Because honestly, with nat 20s, I care less about the modifiers with it. Okay. As you're trying to ascertain whether or not this is real life or not, it seems pretty real at the moment. This creature is pulling itself up, and it's got the blade in the top, and it's got these long horns behind it. And you begin to see sparks of lightning coming out of its mouth, and it looks like the largest dragon you have ever seen. But the color on it is mostly black, but blue stripes down its front of its neck and the back of its neck.
Okay.
I'm gonna help fire cannons.
I have a thing.
And it is charging up something to fire at you all.
Okay, so I will turn to the crew and say, if you get an opportunity, go. And as I say go, I'll step the javelin into the ground, and you'll see me turn into a being of lightning with lightning wings.
Before he does that, I'm going to cast Path to the Grave, which pulls all vulnerability from the creature. So any vulnerabilities the creature has, it's vulnerable to any.
Sweet.
And
The next attack is the creature is vulnerable to the next attack at damage it takes. Next damage it takes? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
and while he's doing that, you see Greymore do some tough shit, and 3 blood walls pop up in front of him, and tells people that if they need to barricade themselves to get behind the blood walls from this charged beam to hit him.
I'm going to get behind him.
I'm gonna get behind. I'm not gonna get behind.
That's it, right?
It's only,
I'm
it's only
loading
one
cannons.
attack.
Okay.
On my next turn, though.
And is Galileo also
You have
loading
one turn for someone to
Yeah,
attack. When the one attack hits, that's it. Yeah.
cannons?
I think so.
None of my spells
Good
are
use of the
actually
cannon.
loaded the way that I want them to.
Is Blood Wall a spell?
No.
No.
You just see him like bite his finger and then stomp his feet, and then the wall comes up in front of him,
Hell yeah.
like Earthbender and stuff.
So, real quick, like it's like Phoebe and Galileo kind of tag team off below ship. Like so Phoebe can go up
Freight.
top and check and sees all of this shit that wasn't there before she went below deck. I can't stop. Anyway, and stop me if this isn't what it's supposed to be. So, like, she hits the deck of the ship and sees all the chaos, and I think in her mind, she's going to be like, Saloon did tide shit, right? The moon and the tides, and that's something, and she's gonna try to reach in her mind and in her spirit towards the moon and towards the ocean as well, and pull those together, and I'm gonna cast Freedom of the Tides. This is a Tal'Dorei campaign setting spell. It says, you conjure a deluge of seawater in a 15-foot radius and a 10-foot tall cylinder, centered on a point within range. So I want to conjure that below us to push us up and over. Like, I want it to just kind of, like, water spout us out. Like, just trying to, like, pull the tides up to us and move them forward and away.
Okay. 2 things. First, what level spell is that? 3rd?
It's 3rd.
Can you roll a D100 for me?
I can.
She can and she will.
You must.
For me. Hold on. I only got out the first half of the D100s. No, I didn't. That's an 88.
Oh.
Okay. Second thing, as you try to pull water up, there is no water here.
There is no.
Okay. See, but
We're now desiccated beings.
it is a
Not me.
creature deluge.
hmm
So
So
does water
if you're
happen?
if you're trying to lift your party up, what I will say is maybe the orbs have liquid in them, and you pull the orbs up, and it kind of lifts up and puts you down in a different place. But there is no escaping, as far as you can tell, in any spell that you've cast. There is no water. You are not in the ocean anymore. You are not on the open sea anymore. There is no water to be had, as far as you can see at this moment.
It's a spell.
It is a
I
spell.
thought we weren't doing those.
Okay. And yes, Celine technically is the fine
I'd
beauty.
like to slightly retcon my transformation in the fact that when I damp the javelin down and I turn into that lightning beam,
hmm
also my lightning strike comes down on that sword
Okay.
Yeah.
from the sky.
And by the way, as you get a better picture, as you strike down, the sword's at the top of the head, but the head itself, the snout of this creature is larger than you. Just the nostrils. And what you are seeing is, again, this almost like a rocky shoreline. That's the type of dragon it is. No scales, but almost rock, like you have brushed up against a mountain almost. As you strike,
40 I will definitely do it.
as you
I'd be
strike
vulnerable.
down on the sword or on the blade, it releases what looks like a lightning storm at you. And with a 27, you look around, and you guys are still going on the open sea. Gizzo is manning the ship, and everyone is doing something, kind of repairing this ship as it took a little bit of damage from the previous fight. And Runeberg, it seems that you are the only one who has just been staring off at sea for the past
Yes.
10 minutes or so.
Love it.
Yes.
To hear it. So since this is in my brain, does this count as my once a day lightning transformation?
Wait, is he just like mumbling off on the front of the ship, like going like, making lightning noises?
You tell me if you saw him doing that, it happened.
Like, I have advantage on perceptions, so Galileo is pretty much like what the fuck's going on? Like,
Is it drool coming out of his mouth?
yeah, like I want him to be like, ooh, like flexing or something. I don't know. It's up to you, Matthew.
Flexing.
Yeah, you can't help it.
Walked over here, man. So it's 10. I'm here for it.
So like this big
Do I get my spell back?
with the like
You expended those spells, and actually, Raj,
Sorry.
Raj, important to know. So those spells were expended. They were used. The damage you took for the 7 points and then the healing, that happened. Raj, at some point throughout the next few hours, you find a skull attached to your hip.
okay.
I don't remember this skull.
Feels all of a sudden is so. Ugh.
19 damage in the lightning strike, by the way. I don't know if that matters.
Oh, way.
Is that killer? Is that enough?
You take
That's
19
pretty-
psychic damage.
Immune to lightning and thunder damage.
By the way, I'm happy
That's
that
horrible. Thank
you
you.
went for the illusion, because I was going to keep that going until someone did some sort of like check. I don't know how long it was going to go on for.
Well, I'm glad very well.
It's been several hours now as
Salvi.
the first day is coming to an end. You guys are heading in the right direction. Nighttime
Someone
again.
up there.
There's no day or night anymore in Exandria.
Day and night.
as Galileo reminds you, maybe even obnoxiously, another hour has passed. Another hour has passed. It is now evening.
Another hour has passed.
Now,
It's
anything you guys would like to do on day one? At the end of day one.
Sleep, rest up.
I would like to feel like an idiot for falling for an illusion, and then go to bed.
You're daydreaming like a bro, dude.
She's just gonna be below deck in the kitchen, like
Below deck?
making tea and like trying to like keep morale up and just preparing things, like something that looks like food with whatever scrap was on our new ship. Like if they had, is it just calamari or what? Like,
Actually, in this ship, you would have found
Hollandaise sauce.
you would have found
Hollandaise?
a bunch of fruits like mangoes, pineapples, things like that, and you would have found you would have found a bunch of layers of grass.
Grass?
They were
Fucking
hippos. Yeah. So just all the fruits, all the grass you can find. Yeah, it's here.
We're going to be subsisting off of. I mean, there are so many
Anchoring says don't eat grass. I'm just saying.
to certain herbal teas that we're just gonna have a lot of fruit teas. It will be fine.
You're making hot grass water?
Sure.
Sylvie's gonna like find a watermelon that was down there and like pick up and be like, I know a wonderful sangria recipe that is perfect for the sea like this. Do we have a jalapeno? Trust me, I know it sounds strange.
Oh no, that sounds delicious. And so starting to like try to find like a single jalapeno, like we'll make it work, and then we can have drinks on the deck.
Perfect. While we're doing that, Sylvie's going to be studying the 3 books that I assume I've probably just like read to death that Jace gave her. But I'm going to look at the book called is on the darkness, and is going to specifically kind of look into that. You don't have to give me any information on that at this exact moment, but that's what I'm going to be doing at night, probably for the next few days.
Okay.
I believe in a thing.
What a great song.
Okay. Give me
No.
a intelligence check.
Okay.
Or let's do a history check. Sorry, history.
Okay, I think it's all the same for me. It is. Hey, 21.
21. Cool. As you spend some time reading the book about the darkness, essentially what you're reading is for us it would be like Greek mythology, but for Exandria this is mythology around the origins of the Luxon and how the world at one point was shrouded in darkness, and this darkness was only it only dissipated with the Luxon arriving and shining a light onto Exandria, and it kind of just goes into the origins and the myth of the Luxon itself, and how they're hoping one day this Luxon will come back and free the world from darkness.
I think every time she reads something cool, she's just going to go to Galileo and be like, did you know this? So it looks like this is where, and just like kind of spiel about it and just like point to him and like bring it up.
Yeah. And I guess meaningfully I guess I kind of know I can't expose and listen to the darkness at the same time.
It's a lot. Sister Darkness was erased once the Luxon arrived.
Yeah, it's more of my
How could you
ability. It's my ability to multitask at the end of the day more than anything.
Purpose profit.
Can,
We're gonna
I don't even know where I was. I guess can I ask Manzioni like how aware of everything I am? I know you said I realize what I am at this point. I've apparently broed down with other gods or whatever, and like
so there's a
yeah.
Yeah, but you can absolutely. So there's a there's an indicator on in your index protocol that suggests that you are two pieces away. Over the past year, people have been coming to you and have been giving you orbs willingly. They've been called to it, and you've had people arrive from all different parts of the world, and they have been surrendering, from kings and queens to the layman person who's just been holding on to this thing that they thought was nothing for the longest time. Yeah. And they've always told you that they felt something pulling them toward you, and they've been following that. So you're only what appears to be a couple away from reaching your potential. You haven't increased though in like power or anything up to this point, so it's an all or nothing situation right now.
Got it. Yeah, I was gonna ask you if
That
like
was the question that we had. Yeah.
Matthew and I were talking about that, like collecting those could like let me prepare more spell slots or something. But it's I like the all or nothing thing.
Yeah,
So
100.
yeah. He's 400 spell slots. Okay, so I just need a couple more. All right. And then yeah, so I would just totally goss with this with Sylvie as yeah. Yep. Okay, I don't have anything to add. Just other than I would be totally psyched and recording all this information and kind of fleshing out the idea for myself, Sylvie, that I might have to do something to help stop this calamity.
Sylvia's gonna like take her book that she was like really excited to show me, like, oh, I did not mean to make you feel. I don't know if necessarily because you have sacrificed yourself once before, if that means that you have to do it again. There's always another way. I mean, it doesn't mean... I think that if anyone would understand, it would be you, that is just one possible outcome.
I think I need to put myself back together or find the lost memories of who I am. And I think it might be different this time.
I think so too. Do you feel a pull towards the other, now that you kind of know what that feeling is? Do you feel a pull in certain directions as the other two?
Well,
the last two pieces?
If before I felt like I must protect the light, now I feel like I must make it burn brighter.
Oh.
And I think it will be different this time because I have you guys.
We're here to help you, and I know that your family was before, but that was it sounds like a very different time, and perhaps there was less understanding than there is now. But we're all in this together.
I would like to remember my family.
I think they would like that as well. Well, let's find those other two pieces then, shall we?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on. Keep telling me about.
It's pretty cool. They have a whole book written about you. Perhaps they'll change the name now that we know that you... Well, I guess it'll depend if you want a different name. If you want to go by Galileo still, or if you want to go by... I guess...
Luxon?
Right? I mean...
The artist formerly known as Luxon.
As Galileo.
It is
It's a weird G.
It's a bit weird to go by the name of... I guess it's not the name of the religion. I don't know. You don't have to make that decision right now.
Which one came first?
You could merge the two names if you wanted to.
Luxon.
Luxon. But you know what, again...
Galileo. That I like it.
I'll let you know if I find out anything else interesting. In the meantime, I imagine that, like, over the last year and everything, Sylvia's probably let him read the book about the prime deities and the betrayers. I assume you've probably, like, read it, like,
I want to, like,
times.
if we're on watch together,
Mm-hmm.
I want to, like, be reading books with you. Like, like reading, like, the same book together.
Could it
Like,
be
at
like
the same
a
time.
children's, like...
Yeah.
like... like fairy tale story thing.
That's
where it's
like-
not like an actual book, but like
Yeah,
a picture
pictures.
book.
Like it's like clearly worn that has from like use over the last year of like us reading it over and over and over
Yes.
again. But like it's our
Yes.
favorite thing to do on watch together.
I love that.
And like, yeah. You crying yet?
No, that's just very sweet.
Well, I know where this whole thing's ending, so you're making me emotional. Like, hey.
That's the goal. Fuck you, man.
It's ending in death. We all know that.
You live on a throne of lies.
It's never too late to change your mind.
I think we both know it is too late for me. Anything for you down there, Greymore?
Hey, man.
Gray Man needs to sleep off the amount of pain that he endured from that last battle, so he would just be not even taking watch, he'd be passing out.
Okay. Raj, anything for you on this evening?
Yeah, Raj is just gonna pull out the skull that he found over the course of the day and kind of just. He would try to cast Speak with the Dead, but since he can only do that once per long rest, he wouldn't be able to reach it. But he would just try to get some kind of clues or kind of like a vibe check on it, so to speak.
As you try to cast it the second time, where do you cast this at? Are you with everyone? Are you on the deck of the ship? Are you in the crow's nest or the raven's nest, formerly known as the crow's nest? Where are you at?
That's hilarious. I was thinking that he would have been below deck, but since you said the Raven's Nest, that's cool. So I'm just gonna roll with that. He would have crawled up there and just kind of looking for a little bit of quiet space since
Okay.
Galileo talked his ear off.
As you cast it the second time, and you see nothing happens, you look to your side, and you see sitting next to you, almost like a younger version of herself, like 40s, 50s, as opposed to, well, a bit older, godly. You see the Raven Queen sitting next to you.
Yeah. Does she look like does she look like a person, or does she have the mask on?
Looks like a person. Long black hair, seems to be in like rags, like disguising herself at the
Yeah.
moment, trying to fit in with the attire that you guys are wearing. And she looks over to you and says, and she doesn't make eye contact with you, but looks toward the skull and says, "Do you know what happened to him?"
I don't, but I mysteriously wound up with his head. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, but
As she touches the temple of the skull, you are pulled back to about a year ago when the Great Calamity kicked off. The battle at Rexentrum included many deities that we've previously talked about: Chained Oblivion herself, the Platinum Dragon, Asmodeus. What was happening on Port Damali and along the coast, there was a battle between Cord and Uk'otoa. And many of the people who lived in Port Damali were pulled in to the sea, never to be seen again, by Uk'otoa, as he lashed out and literally pulled buildings and chunks of the cities in with his tentacles, almost like an earthquake. And you pull back out, and you're looking at the skull, and you figure that not only was this person killed on the opening day of the Great Calamity, but you probably gather that all of those thousands of other eyes, or for the most part, those thousands of other eyes, were also casualties on the first day of the Great Calamity that Uk'otoa has claimed for himself. And they are trapped in these orbs that lie at the bottom of the ocean.
How would
Is there any way to save these souls?
I think we have other obligations first, but maybe after this is all done, we can hunt a big fish.
Not fishing in your retirement.
They shall haunt my dreams until.
You get used to the screams and the cries. You get used to it.
Well, I suppose there is a slight learning curve to things.
Does Raj hear screams at night? Sorry, asking for a friend.
I would say that maybe Raj has heard. It'd be more like he's had, over the course of this past year, he's had. What, I can't think of the word that's not dreams. He's had nightmares. Good Lord, it's been a long day. Raj, you're starting to piece together a little bit that you've had nightmares almost consistently. There are very few nights in which you find peace, and you're not sure if the nightmares are just that fantasy made up, or if they are literal deaths of people that people have endured since the Great Calamity, and somehow you are connected and sharing that misery, that dread with the Raven Queen now that you are her champion.
As soon as you had that on when I was talking, I was like, oh, that's nothing. My brain left.
I'm good.
Sorry.
You're fine. Yeah, Raj wouldn't kind of. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Sorry.
You've like heard more or like had more and more nightmares over the last year.
Yeah, I would say they would just be coming more frequently as my progress with the Raven Queen continued. So.
Again, she doesn't look at you. You really only catch as her blackened hair covers most of her face, but whenever you kind of catch a glimpse of the side of her face, again, you see that pale skin. And she says to you, "Heavy is the crown, which is why so few bear it." And you see this poof of feathers, and you see a raven flying off in the distance.
Yeah. That's dope. Raj would just kind of nod as the raven flies off, and continue to be kind of with this skull for the next indeterminate amount of time.
That's not one I had on my bingo card tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Graymore, you're sleeping. Roomberg, I think Roomberg and Phoebe are my last two, unless anyone else wants to interject for this evening.
I'd probably be with my son Gizzo, sailing the ship.
You mean with your father? With your daddy?
Yeah, well,
With Daddy.
Daddy Gizzo.
As you're down there with him, by the way, he's got this apron on, and it says "Daddy" right on the front, and it's got these ass chaps in the back, so it's just his butt hanging out. And he's cutting up some melons back there, and he's preparing some food for people in the morning when they wake up.
I'd somehow make a nice melons joke, but you know,
Inappropriate for YouTube. Yeah, Phoebes.
Okay. I mean, not much. Like I don't remember anything that happened. For all intents and purposes, it's been a pretty
a mostly chill day on the ocean. And just kind of, I don't got much, and like, but she like Phoebe before she wild shaped before our fight, like took several very very large hits. So I think that she's just going to like after Sylvie makes the watermelon sangria, is just gonna like cozy up on like in the corner of the deck of the ship, like have like a nice like pillow blanket corner on the deck of the ship and just like sip her sangria and then fall asleep with her sangria on her fucking chest. Like that feels like a good look. Like just a fishbowl sangria and just kind of like it's not even halfway drank.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yep. We're on island time, baby.
All right, so as the night goes on, and you all find rest to some capacity, you all get a long rest. We are going to bypass day 2, day 3. We're going to jump to day 4 here. If someone can give me a fresh roll, D20, please. It's 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on day 4. And Galileo,
Yep.
you begin to feel some sort of nostalgic sensation brewing within you. What do you do?
What does it feel like?
It feels like home. It feels like a piece of you.
I'm going to be on the bow of the ship, like Jack and Kate. And I'm going to be kind of sitting there or standing there in meditation with my hands much like they are now. When I get this feeling, I'm gonna reach out with my feelings and see if I can find a direction that this feeling is coming from, or if it is coming from within.
Okay, so your index protocol gets activated. I'm going to have you choose your poison. So you can do a perception check. You can do a religion check. Or anything else intelligence related that you want to do, because I know you love that modifier.
Can I just make a straight intelligence roll with no skill modifiers, like just the ability itself?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, obviously.
And let's
Obviously.
make that disadvantage, please.
How about Arcana? How do you feel about that?
I'll take that.
Okay. I'm going to do two things for you then. I'm going to roll an Arcana check. I'm also going to activate my third eye power, and I'm going to be able to see into... I'm going to be able to see into the ethereal plane for 60 feet.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to check. I'm going to do a little planar research on this whole Calamity thing. It's distracting. Yeah, so I'm going to activate third eye to give myself ethereal sight within 60 feet, and I'm going to make a pretty cool Arcana check. 27.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 27. Very nice. All right, so initially for you, what you see in the ethereal plane, almost like a storm brewing, but at your eye level, and almost like you're parsing through fog and mist. But through the mist and through the fog, you do see a light some distance away, but you lock onto it.
Like a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Cool. Captain Runeberg, can you please have Gizzo direct the ship 15 degrees to port and maintain that heading?
Sure.
Ha! Sure. No, it's not the shore. I believe it to be on the water.
Daddy's got you covered, and you feel a pull with the
Captain.
boat.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
I'll direct him forward.
In the interim, is there anything anyone would like to do during this time, as there's a new course set that seems to be slightly off track from the Shattered Teeth?
I apologize for taking us off track, team, but some of the nostalgia I felt as we reviewed our tomes together, Sylvie, I feel now, and it is in the direction we're heading. I will try my best to keep us safe from treacherous things on the way, but I believe it to be a valuable use of our time.
Is this something that over the last year, like, we've seen Galileo experience? So Sylvie would say, kind of looking at Galileo, as we know he's had these feelings before, well, we have at least a day or two, give or take, until Jason Xerxes arrive in the Chateau Teeth with the plan. So I think we follow this out, and if anything feels off, then we just head straight to the Chateau Teeth.
It could be a piece of me, it could be an old friend, or maybe even an old adversary, but whatever it is, I think we should go.
Well, if you trust this feeling, then I trust this feeling, and we're all in this together.
And Galileo, I don't know if you looked directly at the betrayer ever, but like, do they typically have a light to them when they familiar? Is it all of them, or is it only the prime?
It's been a long time. It's been a year, but it's been Asmodeus was
I
in.
would remember the light that at least I saw on Deegan when he was kind of possessed by Tharizdun. And those are betrayers, so I would have seen their lights before.
Even at Deegan's lowest point there toward the end of that, you saw a light still within him.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, who knows? We'll find out.
It doesn't rule anything out, but that's okay.
The probabilities are mixed
The probabilities are endless.
and can only be narrowed down through investigation.
Alright.
And so I'll be like flipping through my lenses and stuff as we get closer, like ethereal planes and like stuff like that.
Investigation, you said the magic word. I'm in.
There's an island ahead. Do you still see the light in this direction?
I will make another Arcana check and check with my lenses and ethereal sight.
Yeah, there is a light, but it appears to be below.
Ooh.
So in the direction of the island, but it looks like it is not at the surface level.
In the water?
Not in the water. It looks like it points
Okay.
toward the island.
Well, I think we need to go to the island and investigate. The light seems to be calling us from below.
Below me?
Yeah.
No, it's under there.
Under
Where?
where?
I just made you say under.
I imagine like you have a very like robotic. I just made you underwear.
Ha ha.
Bring us in, Capitan.
Do we have a dinghy or a skiff to which we can board the island?
You look at Gizzo, and he's looking at the side of the ship, and he's looking for a place to drop anchor. And there are there's no rafts or anything to bring you on shore. Those were destroyed on the first set of volleys from your guys' ship that was placed into that. So, Gizzo says, we're going to be going for a swim, and he tosses an anchor out to the side, and you've got about a mile to swim to shore.
Oh.
Greymore.
How well does an Earth Genasi swim?
Like a rock.
Could I potentially attempt to not cast because it's not a spell, use Blood Wall, but use it as a floor to make ship of a 5x5 so I can cast 3 5x5s to make them like canoes. And
How often can you cast them?
I just have to keep rolling to take damage. But we had the long rest, so I could do it.
So 5 feet, right?
So I can do a floor 5x5 3 times.
So you would need 5,280 feet worth to make the trek all the way to the shore.
I was saying put it on the water and use it as a...
Can it physically move?
It doesn't say it can't.
Well, that's a slippery slope here.
Yeah, is the blood wall quantumly locked in place in a superposition, or is it an object that now has buoyancy and floats?
Can we place it and wait for the Earth to rotate in the right direction?
Well, so it says
You place it, and then the Earth immediately is ripped away from you, and you.
if it's not connected to any support, it will automatically break. I was assuming the water would be the support.
I'm gonna have you roll a d20 for this argument to never happen again. It's gonna be a 17 or higher,
Okay.
and I'll let you do it. 16 or lower, this can never happen again.
It's never happening again.
Okay, so you thought
Ever,
about it,
and
you
not
were
even
like,
close.
water and
It-
fire.
It was a natural one.
Spin, that was definitely like a Manzioni roll for like he's been putting up with this shit for 4 to 5 years or however many years now, and he doesn't need any more of that nonsense.
We're setting a
on,
real
I've
bad
got
precedent there with the blood wall, if I allow that.
Well, I can create a wall, a floor, and a roof. So
You're gonna tell me that you guys want to sleep in it now soon. It is
It's
your
just
next
gonna be
version of a hut.
free flowing with blood everywhere.
It's just an orb you all sleep in at night.
Stars.
Well, okay. So we're
The
just
dwarf
gonna
doesn't
send
want
it.
to swim. That's what he was trying to do.
You, and so as soon as Grimoire makes that statement, he's like, "Don't you worry, buddy. I've got you." And you see Phoebe take off and jump off the side of the ship, and mid-air transform and hit the water as a killer whale, turn back around, and just open my mouth.
Sylvie jumps in, no questions asked.
Do you need to go underwater?
But like you're in my mouth. It's fine.
Doesn't have to.
I don't have to. And like
There's enough air for a mile.
air breathers. Like so like
Probably not gonna smell good.
it's, you know.
As you all jump in the mouth.
Last time I was in a dark cave that was wet, I lost my head.
I can get bigger.
Has a ring of water.
Nice.
He'll just bust you guys. She's a bro and not a shower.
As you all jump in the mouth of this killer whale, there does appear to be a wooden boy in there. But aside from that, you continue to go for that mile. You land on the island, and that's where we'll pick up next session.